Naomi Trent stepped into Holston Drive Motors, and the air in the room shifted like she just walked into the wrong story. It was a sticky Thursday afternoon in Ashford Hill, Virginia, the kind of day where sweat clings to your neck and even the breeze feels tired. She wore a loose olive t-shirt, faded jeans, and sandals that slapped against the showroom tiles with each step. Her hair was pulled into a casual puff, and a canvas bag hung from one shoulder. She looked like someone running errands, not someone ready to spend $160,000. That was all it took. A tall white man with sunburned arms, Kyle, according to his name tag, smirked and nudged the co-worker behind him. "You sure you're not lost, sweetheart?" he called across the rows of gleaming cars. His buddy, Mason Lee, laughed like it was the funniest thing he'd heard all week. Naomi didn't flinch. She'd been doubted before, on buses, in boardrooms, in bank lobbies. It still stung, but it never stopped her. "I'm here to buy a car," she said plainly. Kyle raised an eyebrow. "What's your budget?" $40 and a granola bar. Mason slapped the desk, roaring with laughter. In the back, someone polishing a cherry-red coupe shook their head with a smirk. Naomi scanned the room until her eyes found a younger man, tall, pale, quiet, with a shirt neatly ironed like he'd done it himself. His name tag read Logan Shaw, sales consultant. He wasn't laughing. He gave her a small, respectful nod. "We got a nice used minivan out back," Kyle said, dripping sarcasm. "Might be more your speed." Naomi ignored him. She walked straight to a deep charcoal Lyra GT, sleek and sharp under showroom lights. Running her fingers along the side mirror, she asked, "What about this one?" "That's a $62,000 car, ma'am. You might want to keep dreaming," Mason scoffed. But Logan was already stepping forward, tablet in hand. "I can help with that," he said warmly. "No jokes, no assumptions." Naomi smiled faintly. "Let's hear it." He ran through the details. Twin motor AWD, instant torque, panoramic roof, real leather seats. She listened, asking smart questions about trade-in value and charging station compatibility. Logan blinked, impressed, but never condescending. "Waste of breath," Kyle muttered, wandering off. Mason called out, "You test-driven it yet? Or just pretending you're Oprah?" Naomi's jaw tightened. She looked at Logan. "Let's drive." The Lyra slid onto the lot, smooth and silent like it had secrets. Naomi pressed the accelerator and felt it pin them back in their seats. "Now that's what I'm talking about," she said, eyes bright. "Told you it's a beast." Logan laughed. Back inside, she parked neatly. "I'll take it. Full price. Today." Logan blinked. "Wait, seriously?" Naomi pulled out her phone. "Let's get the paperwork started." Kyle and Mason were still laughing by the water cooler. "She's pretending to buy it now," Kyle scoffed. "Yeah, let's see that credit score," Mason added. "She's paying cash," Logan said sharply. That shut them up, at least for a moment. Naomi set her canvas bag on the counter, pulled out a slim black wallet, and handed over her debit card. "Add the solar charging package," she said. "You sure that card's not going to bounce?" Kyle sneered. She didn't answer. She didn't need to. Logan ran the card. Approved. Kyle's smirk faded. Mason's jaw hung open. Then Kyle muttered, "Probably stole it." Naomi stopped. Not with anger, not with yelling, just a quiet, cutting, "Excuse me." Before Kyle could respond, the showroom door swung open. A man in a navy suit with silver hair and a black briefcase stepped in, carrying himself like he owned the place. "Where's Naomi Trent?" he asked. She raised her hand. He walked straight over. "Got the lease contract you asked for. Everything's set for Monday." "Perfect. I'll review them tonight," she said, flipping through the folder. The man, Mr. Vernon, CEO of Trent Property Holdings, gave Elira an approving glance. "Nice choice. See you at the investor meeting." Then he left. Silence. "Investor meeting?" Logan asked, stunned. "Yeah." Naomi said casually, sliding the folder into her tote. "I'm joining the board next week. Today, I was just shopping." The hum of fluorescent lights filled the quiet room. Naomi stood calm and steady, her presence heavy in the air. She wasn't surprised by how she'd been treated. Not because of who she was, but because of who they thought she was. Her voice carried easily across the room, breaking the heavy silence. The man in the navy suit, tall, confident, stepped toward her. A black briefcase gleamed in his hand, his gray hair slicked neatly back, and his sharp eyes seemed to take in every detail. He had the kind of presence that made people straighten their backs without realizing it. The air in the showroom shifted, and even the sales staff stood a little taller, sensing this moment was bigger than just selling a car. "You got the papers?" Naomi asked, tilting her head slightly as she reached into her bag. Mr. Vernon nodded, handing her a neat stack of documents. "Everything's set for Monday. You'll sign at the investor meeting. It's all in order." Her fingers brushed his as she took the folder. A simple exchange, but one layered with unspoken meaning. This wasn't just about buying a car anymore. It was a statement. Naomi wasn't someone they could underestimate. Not anymore. She flipped through the papers with a practiced eye, missing nothing. "Perfect," she said softly, sliding the folder back into her bag. "I'll review this tonight. See you Monday." "Looking forward to it," Vernon replied warmly. He glanced at the charcoal Lyra GT under the showroom lights. "Nice choice," he added casually, as if confirming her decision was exactly right. Then he turned and walked out, the doors closing quietly behind him. The silence that followed was heavier than before. The earlier tension still hung in the air, now mixed with confusion, and something close to respect. Naomi had walked in facing mockery and doubt, and now she stood there victorious. She hadn't just bought the car. She made them question everything they thought they knew. Kyle Dorsey, who had been full of sarcastic comments earlier, opened his mouth to speak, but Naomi didn't give him the chance. She turned to Logan Shaw, the only one who had treated her with respect from the start. "I'll take the car," Naomi said firmly. "Full price. Today." Logan's eyes widened. He had expected a back and forth, maybe some bargaining, but not this. "Wait, seriously?" he asked. "Yeah," she said. "Let's get the paperwork started." Behind them, Kyle muttered, "She's probably just pretending." Mason Lee tried to pile on. "Sure, let's see that credit score." Naomi ignored them. She reached into her bag, pulled out a slim black wallet, and handed Logan a sleek debit card. Kyle leaned in, his voice oozing doubt. "You sure that card's not going to bounce?" She didn't reply. She didn't have to. Logan ran the card. The screen flashed green. Approved. For a moment, the only sound was a low hum of the electronics and the shuffle of feet on tile. Then reality sank in. Naomi Trent wasn't a joke. She had the money. She had the power. And she knew exactly how to use both. Kyle's smirk vanished, replaced by disbelief. Mason just stared, mouth slightly open. Naomi didn't waste another second. She picked up the Lyra GT's keys, gave both men one last steady look, and walked toward the door. Kyle muttered something under his breath, but she kept going. She'd heard it all before. Outside, the car's charcoal paint glistened in the sunlight. It almost seemed to greet her. Sliding into the driver's seat, she felt the cool leather under her hands, the quiet hum of power waiting beneath the hood. Logan followed her out, hands in his pockets, a faint smile on his face. "You made it look easy," he said. Naomi smiled back, starting the engine with a deep, smooth purr. Nothing worth having is ever easy. The car leapt forward, tires gripping the pavement. Naomi felt the rush, not just a speed, but a victory. This wasn't about the car. It wasn't even about the money. It was about proving, once again, that no matter how much they tried to underestimate her, she was capable of far more. As the dealership shrank in her rear-view mirror, the weight of the last few hours lifted. In its place was something lighter, stronger. Naomi Trent had arrived, and she was ready for whatever came next.